Hey everybody, it's me, George, with Japanese from Zero, and we're going to do a little bit of a unique video today, something we've never done before. Normally, on YouTube channels, you'll see people, like, how they learn Japanese and how amazing they are from, I took JLPT 1 in just 3 months, and I only listen to Japanese native sources, and I'm amazing. Occasionally, you'll have those people. And then there's those people that, like, I took N1 JLPT test and, Japanese language proficiency test, and I'm not fluent. I don't understand. Like, they say stuff like that. Today, we're going to talk about is a completely different thing. And first of all, let me introduce to you John.
Hello.
Hey, so this is John's camera. We're in the same room. I know I have this, like, amazing background, and John has, like, this is what John's background is, like, what their office really looks like. He's just literally on this side of my desk over here. But the question I wanted to ask you, John, we've known each other since, I think, for
25 years.
25 years.
Yeah, at least.
And we met in a class where you were learning with, not even this book. Like, this book is super old, but we didn't even have this book yet.
No, yeah, there was the painting, right? It was.
Yeah. I wish I had that to show you, but yeah, it's the old, like, hand-created book.
Yeah, I think it was a geisha, actually, on the cover
for book
of that
2.
book. Yeah.
But actually, you were getting printed lessons that weren't even in a book.
Yes, when we first started.
So, first of all, because we haven't figured out what we're going to call this video. There's a bunch of names I had in my head, but first let me ask you a couple questions, then maybe we can work on the title, because the title's important, right?
Okay.
I don't want to, like, say failure in Japanese, right? So,
failure in Japanese, failure in life.
no, let's not go there. The failure in life has nothing to do with the failure in Japanese, John.
Yeah, it's totally two different issues.
Two different failures. Okay, so we're best friends. We say that. Okay, so John.
Yes.
25 years ago, how did you? First of all, why did you decide to learn Japanese, and then how did you find Japanese from zero?
Well, I found Japanese from zero first before I decided I wanted to learn Japanese. I didn't know I wanted to learn Japanese at the time.
Oh yeah.
So basically, what happened was at the time I was working at the Hard Rock Hotel, and anytime there was an event or a big major band there, the employees had to park off property.
Right.
So during one of those occasions, I'm walking across the street to get to my car, and I noticed across the street in the strip mall a place called Video Japan.
That's where you found us.
Yeah, that caught my attention right away. So let me go check this out. So I go over there, and all these Japanese movies, is wall-to-wall Japanese films.
And you love Asian films.
I loved Asian films. At the time, I was big into Hong Kong action films and stuff. And like with Japanese films during that period, there really wasn't a lot that you could get a hold of.
Yeah, because the internet was still way too young, and even if you could find it, you'd have to download it in 52 parts and hope that it would be able to be put back together, right?
Yeah, and they really didn't market Japanese films back then to sell, like.
Yeah,
you could get the major ones, right, the famous ones, but you weren't getting hundreds and hundreds of films like that. So I go in there and check it out, and I talk to the girl who worked. Her name was Satoko.
I remember Satoko.
You remember Satoko? Yeah.
Oh my God, I actually forgot. Didn't I hire her at one point?
I don't recall. I know you.
Let me explain. I think it was Video Japan or Japan Video. I don't remember what it was called. But this is before the internet really was doing anything. These were videotapes, like VHS tapes that you would rent of Japanese pirated TV. It was 100% pirated.
Yeah.
Movies, anime, dubbed movies, subbed movies, all of those, like, from America, from Japan. And it was pretty decent sized store.
That was the thing, though. They didn't have subbed or dubbed. It was
true. It was just for Japanese people.
It was all straight. Yeah, which blew my mind at the time, because I had no idea that you had enough Japanese people that lived in Las Vegas that could support a video store.
True.
Which was amazing to me.
And we had an ad up there on like the cork board.
Yeah.
And then eventually, when people joined, they would get a little card that said Video Japan. They got like $1 discount on videos. That we just worked it out with my friend that worked there. Eventually, I don't know if you were there for that.
Yeah, I don't recall if I ever got a discount like that, but yeah, that's where I saw your ad. And I said,
interesting. So you called?
Yeah, because so once I got in there, and I got a membership anyway, even though I couldn't speak Japanese, so I wasn't going to be able to watch the movies. But they also had like sporting tapes and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, because you're into like Japanese martial arts and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, mixed martial arts and all that stuff.
Maybe we should let everyone know your age.
Currently, 58.
58. And back then, you were. Let me quickly do the math. You were like 34-ish.
I think I was, well, it was 25 years ago.
You're like, so yeah, John's like 7-ish, 8 years older
Yeah.
than me. Yeah. All right. Anyway.
Yeah, so I got the membership, and I was just started renting, the sporting tapes and stuff like that to watch. And
Let me point out they don't have porn there. I just want to point that out. Just so you don't think anything's strange.
yeah, I don't think they did.
No, they didn't. They actually didn't.
Oh.
I asked every time I went, "Have you guys got porn yet?" And they're like, "Nah, not for you, sir."
But anyway, on one of the occasions that I went in there renting something, I saw your ad. So I
Right.
said, well, let me look into this, because my goal became, I bought a copy of Shall We Dance,
Oh, that movie! If you
Yeah.
guys haven't seen, that was a good movie.
and my goal was to watch my copy of Shall We Dance that I bought from Video Japan, and I wouldn't need subtitles or dubbing because I was going to get fluent in Japanese.
So you had the dream.
I had the dream.
You had the initial dream.
Yes.
And back then, well, actually, let me not jump the gun. So you come to the classroom.
Right.
I guess at that time it was still me and Yukari teaching.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. Yukari had not yet had children yet. Right.
Right. She was pregnant at the time.
Oh, was she
though.
pregnant?
Yes.
Okay. So with the first baby. So yeah, that's
Yes.
definitely 26 years ago.
Yeah.
Then.
Okay.
Almost 27 years ago at this point.
It was probably 98. Yeah.
Yeah. Because we were still writing the book actually, the lessons you got were probably 97, believe it or not. Even older than you think.
Yeah, and at the time, you were basically teaching the lessons, and Yukari was focused on pronunciation.
Yeah. That's all because she didn't speak English.
Right.
So I would I would write up on the board all of the grammar that I had in my head or that I had on the sheet, and then I would say, "Yute kudasai," and then she would say it. All right. So you come to that classroom. You were, what was that, like twice a week? You were doing that.
Yeah, it was twice a week. Yeah.
All right. So is it safe to say, like that was a solid dream that you were committed to doing?
Yeah.
And the reason why we're talking today is because you're an example, and it's kind of a more from my side of the aisle where I teach Japanese. It's a cautionary episode to people saying, "Hey, look, you might have the dream, but if you don't put the effort in, it's going to be 25 years later." And to be fair, John is probably right where he was when this book was not even out yet. We'll test him later. We'll see what he has. He's still, every now and then you surprise me with stuff that you remember.
Yeah, I remember a lot of words, but
Yeah. You went to Japan. We went to Japan together.
yes.
4 or 5 years after that. Right?
Yeah,
Because it was 2004.
2004,
Yeah. And how did that change your perspective? You still had the goal very strong back then, I assume.
Still had the goal, but were we even doing classes then?
We might have just been friends at that point, but I feel
Yeah,
like
well,
you
'cause
wouldn't have went if we weren't in the class together, I feel like.
Well, because we were involved in the video, in shooting the video.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And
Let's jump back to that.
yeah, okay.
It was 2000 and I think near the end of 2001 or maybe the beginning of 2002. There was this girl that I met at a birthday party named Keiko, and she was like 30ish, relatively attractive, and she was laughing at all of my jokes. So for me, I was very excited. By the way, I went to that birthday party with my wife, so it wasn't like I was like hitting on her. But the fact that she was laughing so cute at my jokes, I was paying attention to her, and she kind of had just moved here. And she didn't have any friends. So I said, "Hey, why don't you come to our classroom?" So she started coming to the classroom. That's when you first met Keiko.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she was kind of doing the role of Yukari eventually because Yukari had the baby. And one day I was working with Keiko in the office late at night, and we had an affair. Whoa, sorry, went the wrong directions. No, that's what it sounded like when you say late at night. No, I would always work at the office late at night, and I was building kanji cards. And Keiko was taking the backside of those kanji cards and adding expressions. And every now and then I would look over at her computer and I'd say, what does that mean? And she would explain it to me in Japanese. And I thought, over time, we did that a few times. And I thought, this is actually interesting hearing her explain it to me because I didn't know what that expression meant. And then I said, dude, we should do a radio show. We should do that. Because back then I had access to the radio. There wasn't podcast. There wasn't a concept. There wasn't
Right.
phones that could play it. It was just like, let's be on the radio. We'll pay for a Sunday spot. So I told my wife, hey, do you mind if I buy radio equipment? And because I was super excited to do just Keiko's Corner, initially just have her talking, And then eventually I realized the interesting part was me and her talking about it. And I called my wife and said, hey, I want to buy radio equipment. And she said, why don't you just use the new camera that we bought? Her idea. So I told you guys about it. And you were like, I got some lights, remember? You had found some lights at the hard
No, that
rock.
was later.
Was that later?
Yeah.
I thought that was.
No, I just it came up in
Yeah,
class.
that was- yeah,
it
it's
came
probably-
up in class that you were going to be doing this thing with Keiko and Justin was going to be there. And I just say, I'd like to hang out for that.
I remember that's exactly the word you said. Do you mind if I hang out?
Yeah.
And I said no, but I can't stop you. I'm pretty sure with her. But yeah, that was what gorilla thing. We had no plan. We had no idea. We hadn't any mic that first night. But anyway, long story short. So John was heavily involved. He was there at the creation of Japanese from Zero, and people from that time that learned in that time are now fluent in Japanese, like extremely fluent in Japanese, working in huge corporations, making a ton of money. John, that didn't happen with John, right? So what happened to where you didn't learn Japanese? Like what in life? I mean, was it life? Was it lack of motivation? Like, I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Well, I think the major thing at that time was I was working 2 full-time jobs.
I remember that.
And I was like sleeping 4 hours a day. It was hard to find the time.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest reason for anybody. I mean, look, I'm not in a glass house throwing rocks because, I started German and I didn't finish it. I started French. I know as much French as you know Japanese probably, and I didn't finish it. I started Chinese and I went a little bit longer in Chinese. I took a semester at college, but I also didn't actually continue it. The difference for me is I remember things more because I'm using that part of my brain a lot, maybe. Okay. Do you regret? Do you like when you look at it now, when you see people like Steve Leighty, right? Or his brother Mark, they're fluent.
Right.
And they were at your level at one point, and they're fluent using the same materials. Do you have regret, or is it just like whatever?
Oh no, I definitely have regret. Yeah, I mean, I wish I could have seen it through.
Yeah. What do you think? You think it's something you might want to even start up again?
Yeah, I would like to. Like I said, I still know a lot of words.
You want to You want to jump right to the test?
Sure. Let's get into a test.
By the way, if you have questions for John, he'll post responses to this video on the channel. He's up on the channel whenever I tell him there's a video that you might want to watch. He never watches it mostly. All right. This is probably the material. This is the closest I could get. This book is from 2008. Okay, so I'm just gonna let's start with we'll just do lesson 2, new words.
Okay.
What do you prefer, Japanese to English or English to Japanese?
Let's go English to Japanese.
All right. Fruit.
Frutsu.
Frutsu is a valid version. Do you know the Japanese version of it? That's the English borrowed word. I can give you the first.
It's not ninjin, right?
Ninjin is a type of vegetable. So you're in the ballpark.
Go ahead and give it to me.
All right. I'll give you. You want me to give you the first?
No, give me the whole word.
Kudamono.
Kudamono.
Yeah, kudamono.
All right. Next.
All right. Car.
Kuruma.
Very good. Book.
Hon.
Okay. I have a feeling you're not going to get this next one. Magazine.
Zashi.
Damn. That was pretty good. I'm impressed. Let's try a phrase from that lesson, okay?
Uh-oh.
Can you speak Japanese?
Nihongo o hanasemasu ka?
That would 100% work. Now, typically it becomes Nihongo ga hanasemasu ka, but that verb hanasu does use o, so you can do that. How'd you say a little?
Skoshi.
How about not at all?
Zenzen?
You are impressing me. I'm pretty impressed. How'd you say I'm studying Japanese?
Nihongo o benkyo shite imasu.
You can't see what I have open here,
No, I
right? Because
can't
that's
see what
pretty
you have
impressive.
open. Come on, my glasses are right here.
Oh, that's true. This guy can't even see his fingers when his glasses are off. All right. Okay, I'm going to jump ahead then. Jeez, I was hoping I could embarrass you, but I wasn't able to at all.
Don't worry, you'll have other opportunities, I'm sure.
All right, here we go. You guys follow along at home from the 2008 edition of the book. Oh, by the way, let me plug this. Right now at shop.fromzero.com, the latest edition of the book, literally released maybe 6-7 months ago, Japanese from Zero, the special edition is available. This cover isn't available anywhere but from us directly, shop.fromzero.com. If you don't want to go there, you can go to amazon.com and get this is the same material, But you'll see this one's a little bit thicker because we're using thicker stock paper, and it's this beige, not beige, but what do they call this, John? Like vanilla style paper. I don't know what to call it. Anyway, eggshell. But
Eggshell. There.
yeah, so there you go. These are available now. All right, sponsored by From Zero. Okay, ready?
Yep.
Follow along at home, guys. All right. How would you say, who are you?
Dare.
Keep it simple. You're nailing it so far.
Okay.
If you stopped there, it'd almost be good.
Dare desu ka?
Perfect. Dare desu ka?
Okay.
You were thinking you had to have the you or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like you don't. How would you add a pronoun to that? The tension mounts. If you don't get this, it's okay. How do you
ahead.
say you?
You? Anata. Anata.
Okay. What's the?
Anata ga.
I see what you're thinking. I see what you're thinking. What is the topic marker?
Wa.
Thank you. So
Anata wa. Dare desu ka?
perfect. Right. Very good. あなたは誰ですか? All right. We'll try an easy one. Friend.
Tomodachi.
School.
Gakoen.
Say it again.
Gakoen.
So there's gakuen,
Oh,
gakuen,
gakuen.
which means like campus,
Okay.
right? Gakko,
Gakko. Okay.
bird.
Tori.
I'm going to say something controversial for me and you as friends.
Okay.
You remember way more than I thought. There's
Told you
no
I
way
remember a lot of
logically
words.
you should not know bird.
Why not?
I feel like bird is a word you weren't going to use normally. You know what I mean? Like that's probably a word you haven't thought of in 15 years or more. That's just my theory.
I mean, I went over those words over and over
All right.
and over.
I'm gonna
and
jump up.
over
I'm gonna
and
jump
over.
up. I'm going to lesson 10. How much?
How much? How much?
Yeah, how much is it? How much?
Ikutsu?
No.
No,
Ikutsu is a question word. Yes.
no, I've forgotten how much.
Ikutsu means how many. Now, you could actually ask someone their age by saying ikutsu. So it's iku.
Ikura?
Yes, ikura.
Ikura.
Very good. Very good. All right. The rest of this lesson is, I don't know how it is in the current book, but it's like McDonald's menu, potato, cheeseburger, pizza, spaghetti, beef. How would you say? Ooh, okay. First one that you don't know is going to be this one. Change. Like as in money back after you pay for something.
Yeah, you're right. That would be the first
I had a
one.
feeling you weren't going to get anywhere near close. Otsuri. Otsuri. Food.
Food?
Yeah. Now, by the way, it might have been not in your lesson at that time. Because we're talking 10 years almost before this
I'm
book.
sure food was, and I know it, but I don't know.
How do you
it.
say eat? The verb to eat.
Eat? Tabemono. It's tabemono.
Exactly. And how do you say to eat?
Taberu.
You're doing pretty good. I'm not going to lie. Well, you know this one? Bank. Here's a hint. Here's a slight hint. How do you say silver? Silver color. Yeah, maybe that wasn't a good hint.
What is bank?
Ginkgo.
Ginkgo.
See, but you knew it. You just hadn't. You
Yeah.
hadn't recalled it. I'm gonna jump up another lesson here. Fun fact: lesson 11 is now a lesson 16. The book changed quite a bit. Actually, I'm in lesson 12 for some reason. All right, here we go. How many?
How many?
You might have just said it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you trying to throw out so ikutsu. Right?
Yes. But can I say that there's 3 other ways to say how many in this lesson?
Sure, go ahead.
What if it's a rounded object? Or a small, something you kind of hold in your hand.
This is, like what you mean, like the flat?
Not the flat. Rounded objects. Like a ball,
Yeah.
or a piece of candy.
I think it's like my for flat objects, right?
Correct. So for a flat object, it would be nam mai,
Right.
right? How many like pieces of paper do you have? This is actually a good review for the website. For people learning, hey, it's like a good review.
I don't remember the other ones.
Okay, nanko
Nanko.
ko.
Cool.
What about cylindrical objects?
Yeah, I don't remember the other ones.
So if you were at the video store, you would actually use this to count videos. Even now, I think it's possible, I'm not sure, that movies are called Ippon, Nihon, Sanbon because they used to be the tapes. These, All right. How'd you say flowers?
Flowers. Hana.
How'd you say nose?
Hana.
Do you know what the difference is? Do you know, like, if there's a difference, I should say?
I think there is a difference, but I don't remember it.
To be fair, I don't know the difference either. But one is goes up to down and down to up, so it's like hana.
Right.
I honestly don't remember that one. The one for candy and rain I remember strongly, but not that one. That's a thing called pitch accent, which you've probably never heard of.
No.
Except for, have you seen the video of me debating the pro pitch accent?
I have not.
Yeah.
I
I
guess
call
I'll have
I
to
call
check
it
that
bitch
out.
accent. I'm a little bit spicy. I'm not a fan of pitch accent. I'll tell you why though. It's because in this case where we're talking about flowers versus nose and there's zero context,
Yeah.
it might help. But if you buy flowers for your girlfriend, no one's gonna think you bought her noses.
Right.
And if there's blood coming out of your nose, no one's gonna think it's blood coming out of your flower, unless it's like a rock video where they're being very emotional and very poetic. Then you might have blood coming out of the flowers, right? All right, a star, like one in the sky.
Yeah. No, I don't remember that one.
Hoshi.
Hoshi. Ah, yeah.
But how do you say want?
Hoshi.
There, see, that's the more important thing. The more important thing than pitch accent, 100% in my mind, is whether you lengthen something or don't lengthen it, or whether you use a small tsu to get that glottal stop or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Well, you're doing pretty good, John. Let's go a little bit. Let's go a bit harder here.
Okay.
Let's try some sentences. We
Uh-oh.
can jump back a little
Here
bit
we
here.
go.
All right, here we go. Which one do you want?
Dore ga Hoshi desu ka?
100% correct. This is your first quiz in 25 years. That might
Yeah,
be the name for
right?
this lesson. Japanese teacher tests his student from 25 years ago on level 1 Japanese. I'm serious. That's probably a good name. All right. Okay. I want this one and that one. Well, actually, I want this one and this one.
I want this one and this one. This. Kore? Kore des?
Actually, that's good enough. Yeah, you don't have to restate the I want.
Yeah.
Like if someone says to you, "Nani ga hoshii desu ka?" or "Dore ga hoshii desu ka?" you can say "Kore to kore desu." This one and this one. Very good. I would give you that. Okay. Ooh. So first of all, that proved, by the way, you remembered the particle to for and.
Yeah.
Good job. I'm pretty impressed. I think if I showed this to you, Kari, her knowing you all these years, she would say "sugoi" to this. I really do think she would. I feel like you need to start this up again. I feel like I've always felt it was a waste that you didn't keep learning, but I think it's now that I know that you still remember even this level, it's a much more waste. I bet you'd probably excel compared to your old days if you picked up book 2 and 3, which you already have a million
Yes.
copies of. All right. This one might be a little bit hard.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just guessing. This tests another concept for you. I want the green and blue one.
I want the green and blue one. Oh man, what's great? Midori to ao Midori to ao ga hoshi desu.
Now, if you said that, it would work. What we were trying to teach here,
The one.
the one pronoun, right?
Right.
Do you remember how to do the one pronoun?
No.
It's no. Actually, you just said the answer. You said no. So you'd say midori to ao no ga.
Yeah.
So if you say ao no ga, it means the blue one, right? Ao no. All right. So remember that because it probably will come up again. Is your car new?
Anata no karuma ga atarashi desu ka?
Very good. I mean, was better there because we're talking about specifics a little bit. You know, we're kind of specifying is your car blue versus other whatever or new. Sorry. No, it's old.
Yeah. Yeah. Furui desu?
Yeah. Yeah. John, I'm impressed. How do you remember? You're not like looking at the books.
No.
When's the last time you looked at these materials? Would you say? An honest answer, like
To actually looked at them?
yeah,
Decades.
decades, and you somehow remember it. I think the only conclusion I have here is I'm a genius teacher. I think that's the only conclusion. I'm just a great teacher.
Well, I mean,
I'm joking.
despite the fact that I worked those 2 full-time jobs, I mean, all my free time when I was pouring over those damn words, vocabulary.
It's impressive. All right, I'll give you. This is a very hard one. Very hard.
All
This
right.
is advanced level for book 1.
Okay.
Can you say the 1st to the 10th days of the week?
The first
Days
to
of the
10th
month.
days of the month.
Yeah, like the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. I don't know if we did it in your class, but what I used to do was I would have them say from the 1st to the 31st. If they missed even one, they had to start over again. I did that a few times.
Isai?
Okay, that's 1 year old.
Okay, yeah.
If you need a hint, I'll give you the first one, and that
Yeah,
might
give me the
trick your
first
memory.
one.
Tsuitachi.
Suitachi. Yeah, that's not gonna help.
And it's not a pattern, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
So it's Tsuitachi, Futsuka,
Futsuka.
Mikka.
Mika. Yonka.
So close. Yokka.
Yoka.
Yokka. These are hard.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do. I'm not.
Itsuka.
Gonna Itsuka. Still not gonna get it.
Muika.
Muika.
Nanoka.
Nanaka.
Yoka.
Yoka.
Kokonoka.
Kokonoka.
Toka.
Toka.
Now, from the 11th, it's easy. Juichi.
Juichi.
Nichi.
Yeah. Juichi Nichi.
12th.
Junisai. Juni.
I'll meet you at 12 years
Yeah,
old.
yeah. Meet you 12 years old. Yeah.
Do you have free time when you're 12? But I'm 10 right now, you pervert.
Juni.
So, what was the 11th again? It was Juichi
Juichi
Nichi.
Nichi.
So, what is the 12th?
Juni Nichi.
13th?
Jusan Nichi.
14th. It's a tricky one.
Yonka.
Juyokka.
Yoka.
Yoka with that double
Yeah.
K, okay? All right, 15th?
Jugo Nichi.
16th?
It wouldn't be Roku Nichi, right?
It would be.
It would be?
Judoku Nichi.
Okay.
See, I know where you're getting stuck because sometimes that 6 gets truncated like roppong.
Yeah.
It's not rokuhon, right? Yeah. For cylindrical objects, right? Okay. 17th? Ooh, this might be a little bit. This is a trick. You have 2 choices here.
Give it to me.
Ju. How do you say 7?
I forgot.
There's 2 versions.
It's there's a. It's like a. Is there a yawn?
Well, yon is 4.
Right. It's similar though, right?
Well, it's similar in the fact that there's 2 versions. They're both 2 syllables though,
Oh man, I forgot.
and one's
so-
repeating.
What is
Nana.
it? Nana.
And then what was the other version of nana? Shichi.
Shichi.
So it could be 17 nichi or 17 nichi.
And then don't they change like in the direction that you're counting them or something? Like
Oh yeah, you remember that? Yeah. So this is a fun thing for you guys if you haven't heard this little trick before. But a lot of times, if Japanese people count one way forward, they'll count most of the time different backwards. So like this is how I count, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now a lot of people will do that way. Some might say 1, 2, 3, 4, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But backwards they'll do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. They'll change the version. So if you ask a Japanese person to do that, ask them why they did that and they won't know. But here, I don't know if people are counting that way. 17. So for 17 nichi, I think that's the most prevalent one, but you'll also hear people say 17 nichi. So both tend to be right. Okay, final one on the dates.
Okay.
Because the 18th is 18 and then 19 nichi. What is the 20th? I will tell you right
it's
now.
It's like completely different.
It's completely different.
Yeah.
There's no Niju in there.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
no
yeah.
Nichi in there.
Yeah, I used to know it, but I don't remember it.
Hatsuka.
Hatsuka.
Hatsuka. All right. Let's do a reading comprehension.
Okay.
I'm gonna read
Okay.
the reading comprehension, the final reading comprehension. I'm gonna read just one sentence at a time in Japanese.
Okay.
ここは日本語の学校です。
Koko wa, so Nihongo go, Nihongo o, wait, one more time?
ここは日本語の学校です。
Nihongo no gakko desu. This is a Japanese school.
Perfect. ここにサムさんは午前10時に来ました。
One more time?
ここにサムさんは午前12時に来ました。
Samson? Samsan?
サム、
Samu.
サム、
Samu.
サムさん。サム、
Oh, it's a
Sam.
name.
Yeah, it's a
okay.
Sam.
Okay. So
We used to have a student named Samantha, and her nickname was Sam. That's why it's in the book. She was my first student.
Samantha made it into the book.
Yes, she did. Did you ever meet Samantha?
Huh?
She
No.
was literally my first student. Amelia's in here too. I don't know if you remember Amelia. She's in
No.
book 3. A lot of the students made it in here. You're in here by default because the name John is so easy, right? You're just in here a million times. Okay, so again, so Samu-san. So ここにサムさんは午前12時に来ました.
One more time.
ここにサムさんは午前12時に来ました.
One more time.
ここにサムさんは午前12時に来ました.
Junichi ni
Actually, it's not even 12時. I read it wrong. It's 10時. 10
Juji
時に来ました.
nikimashita.
に来ました. 12時に来ました.
Okay.
What are you thinking so far?
Well, koko ni. So here.
Okay. サムさんは
Here is Sam.
午前
Gozen. Gozen is messing me up. What's Gozen?
AM or morning. So there's also asa for morning, but gozen means before noon.
Okay.
So it's how in time they use it. That's a good hint for you. 10時に来ました. Now I want to say, this sentence could have been, サムさんはここに午前10時に来ました. We could have done it that way as well. We could have had Samu-san first. You can flip them around as long as the particles are attached.
Yeah, I'm not.
What do you get? What do you think? What's your best guess?
Here, Sam's he.
What does kimashita mean?
That's killing me. What's kimashita? I don't.
You know what kuru is?
Kuru. Yeah. Come.
Exactly. But kuru is, do you know what type of verb kuru is?
It's a pseudo verb.
No.
No?
Okay. It is the same type of verb as a pseudo verb, yes. So that's actually in your head somewhere, right? So suru and kuru are irregular, which means they don't follow any pattern. They just don't. So if it was any other verb, you could say like, you know, the final u form goes to an e form and we add a step. But this you just have to remember that kuru becomes kimashita. So what is kimashita though? What does mashita do for that?
It's past tense.
Great. So what does kimashita mean?
So Sam came here in the morning
At what time?
at 12.
I did say 12 a few times. It's juji.
So Juji, what's 11?
No. So what's the G part doing? Do you know?
No.
G is the o'clock part.
Oh,
Right?
so it's 10 o'clock.
Right. Okay. So now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to say the sentence back to me, starting with koko ni, and then finish it.
Koko ni Samu-san wa Koko ni Samu-san wa Juji ni kimashita.
Pretty good. B. B effort. No, A effort. B for the result. You're
Okay.
missing, was it at night or was it in the morning?
In the morning.
Right. So how would I say 10 in the morning versus just... Now, you could probably assume it was 10 in the morning, right? So you don't need to have this particular word, but how would you say 10 in the morning? You have to remember that word we just did.
Yeah, I know. It's now my brain's just all over the place.
Gozen.
Goes in.
So gozen juji.
Goes in. Juji.
So even though in English we say 10 a.m., in Japanese they say gozen juji. They say it first.
Koko ni Samu-san wa gozen juji ni kimashita.
Perfect. Now, let me see if you can do this other way. What if she was coming at 10 at night? Now, we didn't learn this, by the way. We didn't learn how to do this at night. In the new version of the book, we cover it. We didn't do it in this book. We did everything with gozen and the opposite of that, which that's what I'm trying to see if you remember. How would you say 10 p.m.?
I don't remember.
It's gogo.
Go.
The only thing is, at night, calling it gogo is weird. A little bit weird. You know, because gogo means afternoon. So normally you would say yoru. Yoru. Juji.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't teach that, but that's something I added because of that. All right? By the way, there's 16 cents. But I think we should do it because I'm sure people are following along. All right? Did you know that you're in this reading comprehension coincidentally?
Really?
Right there. And probably
Okay.
because you were there.
Sure.
At one point. All right. Number 3, sentence 3. Now keep in mind, this is what you got to keep in your head, by the way. They're all connected sentences. So far we have, this is a Japanese school, Japanese language school, right? Mm-hmm. Here, Sam came at 10 in the morning. So 10 came at 10 in the morning. All right? John-san wa 10時15分に来ました。John-san wa 10時15分に来ました。
One more time.
John-san wa 10時15分に来ました。
John.
Get the verb out because you already know it. I assume you already know the verb, so get the verb out.
One more time.
John-san wa, because in English we say the subject and then the verb, right?
Yeah.
Remember that English is SVO, right? And Japanese is SOV. Do you remember that? I don't think we had taught it in that sense before, but Japanese, there's a rule in Japanese. It always ends with a verb, no matter what.
Yeah.
The verb can be des or a verb. In this case, it's kimashita.
Yeah. Came.
So what you do is you say, who did what? Start finding the who. It's
John
John-san.
came, yeah.
John came. Then the rest supplements that information, right?
10 again.
10時15分.
Juji Jugofun. Oh, okay. So it's 10:15.
Perfect. So, John-san wa 10時15分に来ました.
Right. So John came at 10:15.
Right, now I need you to repeat that.
John-san wa 10時15分 kimashita.
Close. So what's the particle to mean in, on, or at for time, the time marker?
Ni? Ni?
Ni.
Yeah.
So say it again.
So Johnson wa juji jugo fun ni kimashita.
Can I say something even more controversial? I think you're better now than you were in the classes.
funny.
It's interesting. You're actually doing really well. All right. Or maybe I'm a better listener.
Yeah, maybe that's
Maybe I'm
it.
not interrupting you as much. All right. Fourth sentence. 今日の授業は10時半から午後1時までです.
Okay, one more time.
Okay, now listen before I say it again. Before I say it again.
Today, right?
Before I say it again.
Okay.
The key thing you need to do, what particles are doing what? What are we talking about? Is marked. What marks the thing we're talking about? Like, how do you say this is the thing we're talking about? What's the topic marker?
Wa.
Yeah, wa. So whenever you hear wa, everything before the wa is normally the topic or part of the topic.
Right.
What comes after the wa? Do you know? It's something we're going to say about the topic.
Right.
Or a question about the topic. That's the only thing that really comes after that. That wa is in the center there. Everything before it is the topic. Everything in every basic sense, 100%. And even in super complicated things where I say, like, if I said to you, that girl that I met yesterday downtown, all of that would have a wa following it. And then she was really pretty but kind of stupid. That would all be after the wa. Okay? No offense to that girl that I met yesterday downtown. All right, so here it is again. That's what you're looking for. 今日の授業は, and by the way, that's where Japanese people would pause. They also would pause there. 今日の授業は10時半から午後1時までです.
Okay, repeat.
今日の授業は,
Kyo no jugyo wa.
what does that mean? Let's break it up there.
Today. Kyo no jugyo.
Let me ask you a question before we get to that jugyo word, which you're probably lost on, right? What is kyo no doing? What is kyo?
Kyo means today, yeah?
Right. What is kyo no?
Kyo no. So it's
What does the no particle typically do? What's the main thing that
connects.
connects? Well, I didn't expect that to be your answer, but that's the second thing. What's the first thing we learn about it? Like if I said jonno.
Possession?
Correct.
Yeah.
So it's possession. But even in possession, it's still connecting. It's
Yeah.
connecting you to some object, right? So we're talking about, we're taking a noun and connecting it to another noun. So we're modifying that noun with kyo.
Yeah.
So we're not talking about just any jugyo, whatever that word means. We're talking about today's jugyo. Now, based on the prior three sentences,
Today's lesson.
exactly. That word jugyo, you don't have to know it. You can guess. If you said, this is a Japanese school, so-and-so came in this time, so-and-so, blah, 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 today's blah, 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 what today's would it be? It could only be lesson or class, right? It's class. Jugyo, right? So this is what context does to you. This is why I talk, when I talk about pitch accents, it doesn't matter. If you say hana or hana, it doesn't matter because there's context. There's never words in isolation,
Yeah.
right? So, 今日の授業は, what's the topic?
Today's class.
Yeah. Now, what comes after the wa? The statement about today's class, right? 10時半から午後1時までです.
One more time.
10時半から
Juji han kara. So
午後1時までです. These are two double hiragana particles that are important here.
what's han?
Good question. All right, so
Is
there
that like half past?
it is 100% half past. Very good. So what is 10時半?
So Juji han would be 10:30.
It's very impressive.
From 10:30.
Very impressive. I'm very impressed with you.
Because kara is from.
Exactly. What's
From-
the opposite of kara? See, if you heard, something kara, and let's say you forgot what the particle until was, if you heard a time after that, you would assume it's until that time, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Right? So I'll read it to you again. 10時半から午後1時までです。
Oh, Made is the, yeah.
Exactly. See, here's the thing. Even that, you might have only remembered half of that equation,
Yeah.
but the only thing that makes sense after that is until. It doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Unless it was another type of, because you could say started from this time or ended at this time, that would be the difference. So what's the full sentence? Ready?
Yeah.
今日の授業は10時半から午後1時までです。今日の授業は
So today's class is from 10:30 to 5.
You got a little bit tricked there with the go-go, didn't you? A
Yeah.
little bit. What was go-go? Do you remember?
No.
How do you say AM?
Oh, okay. So
How do you say AM?
AM goes in.
Yeah. What's the opposite of that?
Go.
Exactly.
Okay.
And it makes sense, right? You say 10時半から午後. Of course, you probably don't need that because you can figure it out. It's afternoon if you start in the morning, right? 1時までです.
Ichiji?
1時.
Ichiji made desu. So from 10:30 to 1 p.m.
Yeah. Very good. 1 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay. Sentence number 5. Remember, all contextual. Everything up until that point, every sentence up to this point is context. So there's only a narrow amount. Even if there's 100, there's not a million, right? サムさんは2時に家に帰ります。
Samsung wa one more time.
サムさんは2時に家に帰ります。 Okay.
So Sam,
Now, I want you to always do this, John. What was the verb?
the verb was return.
Exactly. So you have the first part of the sentence. Sam
Yeah, Sam returned.
return. What's must doing?
Can we repeat it one more time?
Well, let's just focus on that for a second. In a verb, musta, we already established is
Yeah,
what?
yeah. It was past tense.
Must or masu.
Mas is like now.
Okay. It's now in terms of if it's an ongoing thing.
Present tense.
So let's say I said, let's say every day I do a thing, it would be mainichi something must, okay?
Yeah.
So must says every day. So I do a thing.
Yeah.
But it also means if I said like tomorrow I'm going to must, now it's will do. So it's future, it's will do and do, right? So listen to it one more time and now look for other hints. Samu-san wa 2時に家に帰ります. Don't focus on the part you don't know. First of all, what do you know?
Return.
Right.
Sam.
She'll return, right?
Yeah. Repeat the sentence one more time.
Samu-san wa
Samsung wa
2時に
niji ni
家に帰ります. Let's take 家に out of the equation for a second. サムさんは2時に帰ります.
Iji. So Sam returns it too.
Okay, now, in this sentence, in the context of what we've done, she's
Return
returning.
home. Return
Exactly.
home. Yeah.
Because where could she return to? Now, if she left the school, you could say she returned back to the school, but she didn't leave.
Right.
So it doesn't make any sense. And another thing that you don't know, probably, is that kaeru doesn't normally mean to return to a school. It returns to your origin, right? So, for example, you don't return to Japan. I don't return to Japan. Well, I can return because I live there.
Right.
You don't return to Japan. You go back to Japan.
Right.
And the verb to go back is modoru. Modoru. So if Sam had left to go eat lunch, let's say that Sam wa 2時に昼ご飯を食べます. Let's just say that. She's going to eat lunch at 2. And then we'd say, Sam さんは3時に学校に to school 戻ります. Right? So the key point that, you know, what the reading comprehension is always trying to do is reiterate the things we learned in the lesson.
Yeah.
And what we learned in this lesson, because this is the verbs, two lessons or one lesson after the verb lesson, it's particles, right? 2時に at 2 o'clock, 家に to home, 帰ります will return, right? So Sam will return home at 2 o'clock. Now say that sentence in Japanese.
サムさんは2時に家に帰ります。
完璧です Perfect. Number 6. Every sentence still going to be part of it. We're going to do it. We got to go to the end now.
Come on, let's go.
You know why? Because the people watching want me to
Yeah,
go to the end.
yeah.
They're watching this whole thing. They're into it.
Yeah.
They're trusting themselves. They want to see if they're better than John,
Yeah.
the great John. Your new name is Great John. I'm
Okay.
impressed. Impressive
All right.
John. All right. Number 6. 午後4時に仕事に行きます。
午後
4時に
4時に
仕事に行きます。
4 p.m. Somebody's going to work.
Now, how can we figure out who's going to work? This is
Well,
great.
so
I'm
far
glad
we've
that you
only
said
been talking about Sam.
right. Who was the last person we talked about?
Sam.
Now, so let's remind ourselves. Do you remember that analogy I gave about tennis for the topic marker? I don't know if I did it at that point in time yet.
I don't remember.
But Japanese topics are like tennis. When do you serve in tennis? When the ball is dropped, right? So you serve your serve, and then you go back and forth with that same ball. You don't reserve, right? That's what Japanese do with wa. They say, Sam-san wa 2時に家に帰ります. Sam's going to go home at 2. Then the next sentence is 午後4時に仕事に行きます.
He works at 4.
Yeah. And she works at 4. So you have to add the word she in there. You should know it, right? Good job. All right. Hey, we're almost halfway done. Number 7. This is the longest sentence, I believe, of the entire thing.
Swell.
サムさんの仕事は
No shigoto. So Sam's job.
There. See, now you're getting what the wa does, right? All right. 4時半から午前1時半までです.
One more time.
4時半から午前1時半までです.
Gojihan kara. So
4時半.
Yonjihan.
There is no yonji.
Yeah.
That's like a
Yojihan.
It's got to be yoji.
Right,
it's never
so-
yonji. It's also never shiji for the record. That's one word it has to be for, but it's like it's one of those Japanese things you have to remember. Yoji is special.
So give me the sentence one more time.
サムさんの仕事は4時半から午前1時半までです.
Sam's job is from 4 p.m. or 4:30 to 4:30 p.m. to one more time.
サムさんの仕事は4時半から午前1時半までです.
To 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah. Very good. The hard part there is trying to put the numbers in your head.
Yeah.
And I'm aware of that. All right. At this point, we literally learned numbers at the beginning of the book, so it's still fresh in a lot of people's minds. Number 8. Now we're at the halfway point. I think you're going to speed right through it, though. サムさんの仕事はホテルの仕事です.
Sam's job is at a hotel.
Yeah. It's a hotel job, right?
It's a hotel job.
Very good. And this is all true, too, because she actually worked at the Luxor as the concierge. Number 9. ジョンさんは2時半にスペイン語の学校に行きます. ジョンさんは
Yeah, Johnson was
2時半に
Nijihani.
スペイン語の学校に行きます.
John goes to Spanish school at 2 o'clock.
Close.
2:30.
2:30. Yep. That was a very long sentence that you got really quick. And notice what we did. Now we brought back in, first of all, above that, the topic was Sam's job, right? Now we're changing the topic again to John. Number 10. スペイン語の学校は3時までです。
Spanish school is until 3 o'clock.
Perfect. Your brain's catching on, right?
Yeah.
You're kind of, it's on fire right now. You're going to have good nightmares, by the way.
Yeah.
You're going to be exhausted when we're doing this. Okay, 5 more sentences. Number 11. 家に6時に帰ります。
Returns home at 6 o'clock.
Yep. Let me ask you a question. How would you say Spanish school is until 3?
Spanish school is until 3.
Mm-hmm.
So Spain was Spango Spango wa. Right, one more. Give me the question again.
I want you to remember what the question was. Because you said it in Japanese already.
Spango wa.
No. I want you to remember the English. What was the English?
Oh, so
Just say it to yourself. What was I asking you to translate?
you were asking me to translate.
I'm trying to get your brain to because it's in there.
Did you give me the English? Or
I did. I gave you the English. Because I actually didn't ask you to repeat the Japanese sentence, so I gave it back to you in English.
Well,
I didn't say Spanish language isn't at a certain time. I said Spanish.
Spanish school.
Right. So I said. So the question is, not the question, but the statement is, Spanish school
Okay, yeah.
is until 3.
So Spango wa.
Is the topic Spanish language? What are we talking about? We're asking. What's the question?
Oh, Spanish
Or what's
school.
the statement? Right.
So
Spanish school is the topic. So everything before the topic is, or everything, the topic's marked with,
wa.
right. So the topic needs to all come before that.
Right.
So what's the full topic?
Spanish school. So Spain. Trying to say Spanish. And
Oh, I see what you're doing.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, it's just Spain go, literally.
Spango no gakko or gakko.
Gakko.
Spango no gakko wa. You said 3:30
Until 3.
until 3. So Sanju Nimade.
I see what you're doing. Well, first of all, let's correct one issue. Sanju means what?
It's 30, right?
30,
Yeah.
right? Is there a
Yeah,
time
yeah.
that's 30?
No,
Right.
there's no time.
So what's the o'clock thing?
I don't have
San.
San
You're close with Ju. It's not far from there. Just remove the little U. Sanji.
Sanji.
Sanji. Right. All right. So, well, the little U and the U, but Sanji until.
Made.
Correct. Good. So what's the full sentence?
Spango no gakko wa Sanji Made. Des.
Right. Because if you say Sanji made, you didn't end with a verb.
Right.
Always got to end with a verb. At this level, right? And at most level, you always want to keep that, right?
Yeah.
If you're speaking, if you're talking to friends, you say Sanji made, and you could be done.
Yeah.
But you're not speaking with friends. We're not friends.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, not
I'm a
after
teacher.
tonight.
Right. God damn it. All right.
Son of a bitch.
All right. Does this bring back memories at all?
yeah. It's bringing back.
It's fun though,
memories,
right?
Yeah.
It's so fun, right? Especially when you're nailing it. All right. So
I wouldn't quite call it nailing it, but
you're doing pretty good for doing this 25 years ago with no review, really. Because we've never done for as long as we've been friends, we've never done this.
no.
Right? We talked about it a long time ago. Remember we talked about bringing you back into like Japanese compliance, like for what you could do. We were going to do a show on it. Remember?
I do not remember
at the old office where we did the Halloween show.
Yeah.
We sat in that office and I can't remember what it was going to be called, but we had that concept. This almost makes me want to have you come back and do more because you're a great student. What if you went home, learned the next, lesson 1 of book 2 and we went through it, we tested you. People would probably like that. You let me know in the comments, guys. All right, ready?
Yeah.
I feel like I want to go the opposite direction, but because we've been doing it all in Japanese, we'll do Japanese.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, here we go. 午後8時からアルバイトです。
午後
午後8時から
8時から so from 8 p.m.
アルバイトです。
アルバイトですアルバイトGod damn it, I know that word.
Weren't you stationed in Germany at one point?
I was.
This particular word, Arubaito,
Uh-huh.
is based on the German word Arbeit.
Yeah, well, I didn't learn German either.
That's a whole other video.
Yeah, I know the word, but I don't remember it.
So Arbeit in German means work. Arubaito in Japanese means part-time job. Now, I will say, I'm not a fan of how this is written because the last topic we
You
talked
wrote it,
about,
didn't you?
I think Yukari wrote it.
Oh, okay.
And I corrected it or whatnot. Oh. The last topic we talked about was Spain school.
Right.
But no, it was John. Mm-hmm. John goes to Spanish school at 2:30.
Right.
Spanish school is until 3, and then we kind of jump back to being John because it says he goes home at 6, and then so he's home now, right? 午後8時からアルバイトです。What does that mean?
Part-time job is at 8 p.m.
Yeah. Now, if I was going to be technical, I would say at 8 p.m. is a part-time job, but it doesn't matter. 13, sentence 13. Just 3 more to go. Doing good.
All right, sweet.
7時55分に行きます。
Damn, every one of them's got to be the times and stuff.
Well, to be fair, this lesson is called Telling Time.
Okay, that's a good point.
It's all about telling time.
Fair point.
And there's only really, the 12, like you're only going to be able to count to 1 to 60 for the minutes. And
So one more time.
アルバイトは
Uh-huh.
Sorry, I have to go back one. That was lesson 14. 13 was, so let me remind you what the sentence before was 午後8時からアルバイトです。Right? So we know that his part-time job is starting at 8.
8 p.m.,
So there's only a few things that could come after
Right.
that, right? Maybe it could be like
What time is
when,
he going home?
what time is he going
What
home?
time's his lunch break?
What time does he go there? Or what time does he end? It could be all, like, there's only a certain amount of we're really narrowed down here. 7時
7時
55分に行きます。
行きます。So 7時に
7時
7時
55分に行きます。7時55分に行きます。
7時 7?
7時55分。
55分。So 5:30.
I'm glad that you thought that was weird. You have a vibe in your head that's weird. So if I just said 7時, what is that?
It's 7.
Right, but I'm saying something after that.
Yeah.
So in English we could say 5:30 and 5:22. We could do things like that.
Oh, yeah.
But in Japanese they don't.
So
they have to say
7
o'clock and the minutes every time.
7:55.
Right? Exactly. If his job starts at
6
at 8
or 8.
he wouldn't go at 9.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Right? So I actually gave you the answer.
So he's going.
Right, going. 行きます right? 行きます All right. アルバイトは12時までです。
So the job is from
アルバイトは12時までです。
Yeah, so the job is until 10 p.m. His part-time job.
So his job starts at 8 and ends at 2 hours later?
I mean, it's a part-time job.
Okay, all right. Good call. アルバイトは12時。
12時。
12時までです。
12.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's sometimes you hear the ni as a particle, right? Yeah. Number 16. Last sentence. ジョンさんのアルバイトはマクドナルドです。
Yeah, John's part-time job is at McDonald's.
Not too far from the truth.
That's
so funny.
That's funny.
That's lesson 13. That's like the final lesson in the book. And you somehow got through that.
Somehow.
Very good. Very good. John, I'm impressed.
Thank you, George.
Seriously. I feel, don't you have one of the special covers?
At
home? Did I give you one?
all 5 of them, I think.
Is it this new one? Is it this one with the black?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, you probably have one of the newer ones. If you don't, let me know. But you should definitely go through book 1 again. Just speed through it. and then come back and we'll do a lesson. We'll do a lesson 2. This was fun for me. This is actually way more fun for me. I haven't taught like this since around that time. I just teach to the camera, so it's totally different. You tell like my whole mode is different, right? Like I'm talking to you in a whole different way. Isn't it weird? I'm talking to you like a teacher. So stupid. All right, that's it, guys. Well, let me know what you think. I don't know what to call this lesson now. I just feel like it's just like redemption almost.
I'd call it flop sweat.
No. If we were in a class that you had been in at that time, this is about as good as I would expect someone to do if we were quizzing them after we just taught them, like maybe the next week. This is like a review week. That's about where you are. I would say, hey, just kind of, go over you forgot, you didn't get Made right away. Or, I might give you notes like that, but no, there's no. I'm happy. I honestly am happy with this. So, all right, that's it, guys. I can't call it failed Japanese anymore because you just don't use it, and you don't use it. So, but you're a student level, you could definitely jump back into it and start. You could probably handle some time stuff with trains and stuff like that at this point. So, good job. All right, we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.
That's actually good, John. Very impressed. I think people are going to
myself.
Dude, people are going to love that. They're absolutely going to love that. Because you know what they never get to see is me actually teaching and a student actually trying to absorb it. And they're going to be on the other end being you. You're their position. That's crazy.
Perhaps it was fate. You falling to the floor. A perfect face. I liked what I saw. I wanted more. You were just a poster. My friend Kyle didn't care. You can have her, George. I know your walls are bare. I rolled you up, careful not to bend. Now you're on my wall, my new Japanese friend. The dimples on your cheeks made quite an impression. You're my new hobby, my brand new obsession. Namae wa nani? Shushinchi wa doko? Toshi wa ikutsu? I just gotta know. Your face wakens up something inside of me, sparking desire for Japanese fluency. I learned kanji, grammar, which verb to choose. You watch over me, my secret Japanese muse. My heart, my soul, my emotions are united. Nothing can extinguish the fire you've ignited. Namae wa nani? Shushinchi wa doko? Toshi wa ikutsu? I just gotta know. I searched, I asked, I looked all around. Then I saw your face and I heard your sound. Bubblegum pop, sugary like molasses. A Japanese idol produced for the masses. From stereo speakers straight to my ears, you're my very own Japanese Britney Spears. You were young, just 19, not so old, 3 years older than me. Born in December in Miyazaki City. I learned everything about you, all the nitty gritty. Asaka Yui isn't your real name, it's the name you adopted to obtain your fame. A red yo-yo, it's the weapon you choose. You could be my skepandeka, you're my Japanese muse. Namae wa nani? Shushinchi wa doko? Toshi wa ikutsu? I just gotta know. Boku no Hatsu true love, Boku no Natsu shoujo. When you're on the cover, I always buy Myojo. You didn't write the lyrics, but the message still beams. You gave me the power to jump into my dreams. You made me believe again, you gave me self-control. It's because of you my circus has any rock and roll. Namae wa nani? Shushinchi wa doko? Toshi wa ikutsu? I just gotta know. You're my seeker, you're my beautiful melody. October will always be Christmas to me. Even now, I sometimes reminisce. I'm sure without you, I would have none of this. You are the one that put the spark to my fuse. Thank you for being my one and only Japanese muse. Even now, I sometimes reminisce. I'm sure without you, I would have none of this. You are the one that put the spark to my fuse. Thank you for being my one and only Japanese muse.